All right. Yes, admit everybody. Thank you guys for your patience. We're 5 minutes behind, so I'm keeping that in mind after. So no worries there. All right, Isan, I see Dan, I see Joanne. I'm gonna rename you again, Joanne. That's here. Naretzi is here. Julian, it's so great to see you. I didn't get to say hi earlier.
No worries. Good to see you.
Good to see you. All right, I have a Neil. All right, Peter, Darius. Darius, thanks for leading us off with those comments. I think that's really important. So judges, feel free to leave comments too if you don't feel like asking a question. Deanna, I'm very impressed with your Ugandan. Just had to say that. All right, so looks like we are all here. Okay, I am going to pass it off here to our lovely team, ChuChu Softies from Ashesi, if I'm not mistaken. And that is Faith and Anne. So you have 10 minutes, after which we will have 15 minutes. I'm aware we're about 5-6 minutes behind everybody. Judges, if you have to leave early, completely understand. Thank you, everybody, and I'm passing it to you.
Great. So are we starting now?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and you're welcome to ChuChu Softies presentation. My name is Labija Fechubi. I'm the founder of ChuChu Softies, and with me here is Anna Luala. She's my team member, and together we'll be taking you through this presentation. Did you know that according to UNICEF, over 500 million women out of the 800 million women who menstruate around the world daily do not have access to quality sanitary pads? Girls and women with disabilities in Africa do not have access to quality sanitary pads, and this means that 24% of school days are actually missed in a year by these girls. What could be the causes of period poverty? The high rate of taxes placed on sanitary pads actually contribute to the problem because there's currently a tax of 32.5% placed on sanitary pads, which makes the products very expensive for these girls and women to afford. There's also the cost of high rate of inflation, which also contributes to making the problem worse. Currently, we have an inflation of a headline inflation rate of 22% in Nigeria as of January 2023, which actually makes the prices of these products to skyrocket without ever coming down. There's also the problem of lack of reusability of the parts because the common parts, which are the synthetic parts we currently see on the market, can only be used once and disposed after then. They can't be used more than once. The impact of period poverty actually cuts across different segments. Okay, for girls and women who are unable to afford sanitary pads, they have to settle for unhealthy alternatives, such as the use of socks, rags, and other harmful materials, which cause chronic urogenital infections. For girls who are able to afford the synthetic pads in very small quantities, they put on the pads for like very long periods of time, which also leads to chronic urogenital infections for them. There's also the problem of sex for pads dilemma, which is actually linked to teenage pregnancy. Two teenagers in the Akwa Ibom state of Nigeria were actually sexually abused by a man in exchange for sanitary pads, and they became pregnant after then. There's also the poor educational performance problem that comes from period poverty because girls are unable to concentrate at school, therefore they come out with very poor grades. And period poverty also puts a limitation, it actually fosters gender inequality because it puts a limitation on the performance on girls and women. Miss 40-year-old Nonye, who is the fifth born of 10 children, her parents are unemployed and she has to depend on her parents' salary to make ends meet. Her period days are actually her worst days because she's unable to afford sanitary pads, and because of that, she has to stay at home. Noya actually wishes to become a doctor in the future, but how will she do this with the problem of period poverty that is holding her back? Our customers are menstruating females between the ages of 10 to 45. These people earn $30 to $50 a month. We also have this certain category of women who make up a small part of our customer base. They are women who are concerned with climate change because synthetic parts are actually harmful to the environment. There are also some women who suffer rashes from synthetic pads. Our major customers are people who are focused on affordability, continuous use, and they are looking for a product that they can use over and over again. That is why ChuChu Softies came up with the idea of manufacturing quality and affordable reusable pads for these girls and women. The structure of our pad looks like this. this is actually like a dissection of our pad, because the top layer, which is brown, is made from charcoal bamboo fabric. It prevents the parts from smelling. It also prevents infections. It's also very comfortable because it's in direct contact with the skin of the user. We also have the absorbance core, which is the white material you're seeing. It actually holds the fluid so that for a very long time. We also have the waterproof layer, which is like the last layer, and it prevents our parts from leaking. We also have the wings to hold the pads in place. So a regular ChuChu pads pack, two regular ChuChu pads pack actually make up the schoolgirl kit, which is mostly purchased by NGOs to distribute to girls when they are resuming school. And the regular pack is actually made up of the wet bag, which is this green and small fancy bag you see. And then it contains 5 pads and 2 panty liners. So that's a regular pad down there. So how then is our product used? Our reusable pads are actually similar to like the synthetic pads that our users mostly see on the market. The only difference is that our pads can be used over and over again, and it's actually safe and healthy. So the user takes out the pad and puts on the pad and uses the wing to like fold it beneath the underpants to hold the pads in place. When the user is done wearing the pads and wants to change her pad, if she's not at home, maybe she's in school or in a public place, she just walks and into like a secluded place and takes off the pad and changes her pad and puts the soiled pads into like the fancy wet bag you saw a while ago. And she takes this the pad in the fancy wet bag and takes it home and soaks the pad, washes it, squeeze it, dry it, and waits for like the pad to dry. When the pads are dry under the sun, she picks these pads and fold them and put them back ready for use for her next period. We also have an inscription in our product that says that our users should not share their reusable pads that have been worn. According to research by Neuro Capital in 2021, reusable sanitary pads are actually the best alternative to girls and women who suffer period poverty and are unable to afford disposable sanitary pads. We did a competitive advantage chart where we actually discover what makes us stand out on currently on the market. We have our ultra modern design and also affordability, because ChuChu pads, our users will be spending an average of $7 a year on 2 parts of ChuChu pads, unlike other pads where they will have to spend close to $226 to $60 a year. Our current market size stands at over 4 million females in 3 regions in Nigeria where we are currently targeting, but we intend to spread to other parts of Africa too. How do we make this product get to the people who need them? We have our B2B model where we sell where we are like large scale suppliers to NGOs who distributes free pads, but they pay us in exchange for our pads. We also have B2C where we sell directly to our customers in open markets and also ChuChu Softies distribution points. We also have our partnerships that enable us to like distribute these pads. These are institutions that don't necessarily distribute free pads, but they fund social impact activities like our menstrual health education outreaches where we meet these girls, educate them and share these pads to them. Over to you, Anne, for the rest of the presentation.
So for our unique value proposition, our pads are very affordable, as our customers will only spend $7 on 2 packs of pad per year. Our products are also sustainable and eco-friendly because it is biodegradable when disposed of. We also have an ultra-modern design because the current reusable pads in the market have wings that come with pins that sometimes comes off and makes the users very uncomfortable. So our pads come with wings that have like tight tapes to make sure that the product latches on. For our marketing strategy, we are going to provide standard packaging to appeal to our users. We have email and influencer marketing to reach out to the large NGO organizations, open market adverts or promotions, basically to our customers who are unable to access the internet, also social media marketing and engagement activities. Some of the strengths that we are proud of is the low cost of production materials. A unit pad of ChuChu A unit cost of ChuChu pads is $2.5. We also have innovative marketing skills. Some of the weaknesses that we face is the low production technology in Nigeria and the high cost of electricity. By doing this business, we'll be able to increase female empowerment, and also we have the opportunity of the saturated market of reusable pads. Some of the threats that we face is the high importation taxes, as well as the unfavorable regulation laws in Nigeria. Our business touches on 8 SDG goals. We are pioneering for a circular economy, the recycling of waste materials from the production process into relevant products like laundry bags, face wipes. Our pads are also biodegradable. This helps reduce the impact of plastic waste pollution. Our product is also infection-free, and also just like Nonye, by providing reusable pads to our customers, we'll be able to help them go to school even on their period days. So for our production roadmap, so far we've been able to register our company. This was in February this year. We've been able to acquire our trademark. That was in March. Currently ongoing is the NAFDAC certification in Nigeria for our go-to-market. Our objectives is the acquisition of strategic partnerships with NGOs, setting up our factory in the proposed site location in Nigeria, recruiting team members and employees, and the importation and mass production of the pads at the rate of at least 7,000 packs a month. For budget planning, we plan on purchasing a 2-pulp molding machine, paying for raw materials, as well as the staff remuneration. We also are planning on setting up our mini factory and paying for shipping costs. We've allocated, we are trying to also allocate funds for marketing and branding, as well as research lab activities and transport facilities. This sums up to the total of $37,600. For our future revenue projection, according to Future Market Insights, our business forecasts are 15.8 CAGR in 2022 to 2032, which can also be translated to $55.5 billion by 2032. So far, our journey, we've been able to register our company, acquire trademark. The final, our final product is down below, as you can see, the ChuChu pads set. And also we've received grants from different institutions. And also we've acquired 5 partnerships from other institutions in the same industry. We're currently conducting outreach activities to reach out to more customers and create awareness about our product. What you'll see next is a recent video from an outreach we did. So far, we've been able to raise over 10,000 in funding from African Impact Initiative, Ford Foundation, Coca-Cola Foundation, Ashesi University, Entrepreneurship Center, who also believe in our vision. Our team is led by Faith Labija, who is a management and information system major. She's passionate about female empowerment and tech. My name is Anna Chengalwala. I am a computer science major, and I'm passionate about machine learning and problem solving. These are some of the sources that we used in our research. Join us in supporting our vision for girls and women in Nigeria and across Africa. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, ChuChu Softies. That was such a wonderful presentation. At this time, I would like to open it up to our judges. I have Julian, Ishan, and Roberta asking the first questions, and then Anil, I will get to you. So Roberta?
All right, thank you very much. I think this was a really great presentation. I love the work around it, particularly when it comes to period poverty and being able to help people who naturally would struggle to be able to afford these hygiene products on a month-to-month basis. So I have just a question when it comes to scalability, particularly in these kind of markets where there's a lot of entrenched brands. What would be your strategy to be able to both penetrate and then be able to scale up as quickly as possible to get your brand out there? The second one would also be about hygiene. I think also there are a lot of people who would get comfortable with having reusable pads, despite the fact that those are more expensive, because there would be preconceived mindsets or cultural factors when it comes to wanting to use reusable pads. So what would your work be around being able to shift paradigms of people when it comes to reusable pads and being able to enable them have a good comfort level in terms of understanding that this is safe, this is hygienic, and they can use it for a longer time? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter, for your question. Okay, so for the first question that talks about scaling and how we would help our users to maintain a very high level of hygiene using our products. The first thing I would like to highlight is we actually focus on the set of people we are designing this product for. We are not designing this product for the general market. Like we highlighted in our presentation, we are designing the solution for girls and women who are currently struggling to keep up with purchasing synthetic pads, such that some of them are already even settling for using wrappers and socks and all those other unhealthy things. They are currently using them and washing them again to use it again. So those are the kind of people we are actually designing for. And we actually, from our research that we did, we discovered that reusable pads seem like a new product, because most of our users were asking questions like, are these parts imported? Oh, we've never seen it. Where do you get it from and all? And they were asking a lot of questions. And that was where we realized that our marketing strategy would focus heads on educating our users on the existence of these products and how we meet their needs. And we understand that despite the fact that we are holding outreaches and all, we'll not be able to like reach all our users. So that is why in our product, there's actually like something like a paper that carries a pamphlet, a mini pamphlet in our product that carries inscription on it that describes like the direction for use and basically a summarized education of a summarized information of what we give to our users whenever we go on outreach. So our major marketing strategy would focus on educating our users. And also since majority of our users are people who are local and who live in local rural areas and really don't have access to internet, we will majorly focus on open market advertisements, which is what we've realized has worked for like a lot of companies that are currently on the market. So yes, our two main marketing strategies are focused on educating our users, both in outreaches and in the pamphlets we put in our products, and then secondly, in open market advertisements. I hope I answered your first question.
Yes, you did. You did. Thank you.
Can you remind me of your second question if I've not answered it?
No, I think you've answered both of them, both in one, talking about the safety and hygiene and also talking about the marketing. I still would think that that marketing budget would need to be upped a bit because when it comes to educating your customers, there would be a lot of work needed to be done. So yeah, that budget would have to be increased. Thank you.
Yeah, and we are currently in discussion with professionals, branding professionals that help out with like marketing aspect of businesses. So we'll definitely up our game with time. Thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Julianne, I'm going to pass it to you.
Sure. I just had a great job, by the way. Thought that was a very extremely professional presentation. Thank you. Great job. Just wondered if you had kind of thought through some other channels and other marketing models and revenue models, almost like the TOMS model, where it's kind of in non-rural areas or in places where people are just kind of curious but want to help out, like a buy one, donate one type of situation. Have you kind of thought about that? And if so, what might be some areas that some geographic areas you would focus on?
Okay, so thank you so much, Julianne, for your question. So I'm trying to get your question very well. Are you asking about like the geographical area we are starting our business from?
No, not really. It's more of the model, kind of like the Tom's shoes, where in more socioeconomically or in urban areas, like you buy a pair of shoes and a pair of shoes gets donated to individuals who aren't able to afford them. I don't know if that's a model you had considered, or if there are other ways that you could have like revenue generating, but also social impact kind of revenue generation.
Yeah, I actually think that's actually like a great idea. We're going to take that into consideration because we've actually seen a lot of businesses around us that like do that, and it's actually something that works like in this part of the world where we stay. So yes, we are definitely going to consider that, and I think that would go under our B2B model because the people who would mostly do that are NGOs. Yeah, so we kind of partner with them to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. I thought that was a great idea. Isan, I want to get to you.
Thank you so much. Well, again, good job. Great. I like how you've done your research and all the references that you have added to it. And you closed by talking about NGOs, and that is my question, actually. How is your partnership? How do you envisage that? Why you left it to this stage? I know you are embarking on some partnerships, but how do you envisage maybe they could have helped you already at an earlier stage, partnering with an NGO? And if you're choosing and you're about which NGO are you going to work with?
Okay, thank you very much for your question, Isan. Okay, so regarding like the NGOs, the reason why we decided to partner with them is our solution is focusing directly on ending period poverty. And we know that like the fastest way to actually reach these people who directly feel the impact of this problem is by going through NGO channels who are currently in direct contact with these people. They know how to identify them faster than us, because if we decide to take this burden of going out there to really identify these people by ourselves, it's going to like compound what we are doing, and it's going to like really add to our work. So in order to attain efficiency, that is why we decided to like partner with NGOs. And I'm going to give you an example of an NGO that like we could partner with. For instance, we currently have Gift Me a Pad in Ghana. They have a local name, they call them, but I cannot pronounce the name because I'm in Nigeria and I'm not a Ghanaian, sorry. So yeah, the name of the NGO is Gift Me a Pad. So what they basically do is they draw donations from like institutions that fund social impact activities. They use the proceeds from there to like to purchase pads and send to these girls. But the feedback they constantly get from these girls. The last time I was engaging with somebody from Camp Fetch, she was like, you know what, Faith, we're on a menstrual health period workshop where we gave these girls some synthetic pads, disposable pads, and they were like, it's not that they are trying to sound ungrateful, but the truth is, you come around and then you give us these packs of pad. We really appreciate that, but after 1 month, 2 months, we still go back to using the things we've been using. So like, do you have any sustainability plans for us, or are you just going to continue coming back once a year, twice a year to like give us these products and all? So it was actually something she was telling me, and she was really like, I should reach out to her organization and partner with them. Another example of an organization we could partner with in Nigeria is the Plastic for Pads. So what they currently do is they are trying to like end teenage pregnancy that has to do with period poverty, because like I said in my presentation, most men actually sexually abuse girls for like sanitary pads. So what they do is they kind of like collect plastic waste and sell it to companies. So the proceeds they get from like that, they purchase pads and like distribute to girls in rural areas that actually suffer this problem. Yeah. I hope I answered your question. If you have more question, I think a follow-up question, you can let me know. So
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anil, I see that you were next.
Yeah, as the other judges, I should say that the presentation was very professional. Congratulations for that. Maybe one advice: speak a little bit slowly and insist or focus a little bit more on the messages you want the judges or the investors do not forget in your presentation. Maybe one question around how do you build your brand awareness, and what are the main barriers in your business model in order to be not copied too easily?
Okay, so regarding us getting copied by like other companies and all, we are actually aware that when we like get on the market and we've built like a very strong brand and all, there'll be other people who would want to also come on the market and like copy what we do. But the thing is, we've actually been able to like do some research and identify areas where like our strengths lie. And one of the strongest areas where like we have like very strong strengths in is our ultra modern design of like our products. The current products on the market, we kind of like did a research with like some NGOs who currently like purchase reusable pads. And one thing they kept complaining of is that the girls complained that like the reusable pads flip, because if you look at the structure of the reusable pad, it doesn't use like a glue tape like the synthetics do. So the synthetics are able to like stay in place more than the reusable pads because of the glue tape they use. But reusable pads, the current ones we have on the market use pins, and these pins like kind of flip and they make it very uncomfortable for like the girls who they give this pass to, just like my partner highlighted in her presentation. So we actually did a research around this, and we're able to come up with a solution to fix this problem. And that is going to be like our strong selling points to like our customers. And we actually have plans to like get like a patent for this ultra modern design, because we know that once you put it out there on the market and they figure out that, okay, boom, this is actually solving this problem that like a lot of customers are complaining about, they are going to go after that model and like copy it exactly. So what we intend to do is to like get a patent for it before like putting it on the market, so that for a very long time, we'll be able to like use the advantage of time to like dominate the market before other people are able to like replicate that. And with regards to like building like a strong brand, we have plans to like leverage on the credibility of other institutions that we are partnering with. A very good example is the African Impact Initiative in Canada. Like they have like a very strong credibility when it comes to like other organizations and all that will give us access to partner with schools where we identify like our customers. And not only African Impact Initiative, Ashesi University is also like another institution that like we're partnering with that has like very strong credibility that would help us to be like trusted all around Nigeria and all over Africa. And we are also working hand in hand with branding professionals to give us ideas on how to like push our products to the market and really establish like our strong brand and our strong presence on the market. I hope I've answered your question. In case you have any follow-up question, do let me know.
Thank you. Thank you. And Nareti, and then Peter, and then Diane. I think we'll have time for all three.
Thank you. Thanks, Madeline. Faith
Thank
and
you, Tari.
thank you. Well done. I love your passion and I love your enthusiasm. It's really great. So congratulations. I've always been interested in sanitary pads for women, and I love that you're really thinking about that. Now, my question is this: knowing Nigeria and having business in Ghana, I know there are a lot of bottlenecks you have to face. So how do you intend, one, to cope with the import bottlenecks when you talk about our ports? And there's an average of about 1,000 shipments of sanitary towels and its raw materials to Nigeria on a monthly basis, considering all of that. So how do you intend to deal with, those challenges? And secondly, it's always the challenge of overcoming the forex volatility in Nigeria and even in Accra as we speak now, because you cannot plan on your budget because it just keeps changing. So how do you intend to deal with that? But that's really an issue, And also, have you considered all your insurance risk as well? Those are the three questions I have. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nireti, for your question. I see that like you really, really have like vast knowledge about how business is run in Nigeria or the giddy involved. Yes. So we actually tried testing for this. We manufactured like our first set of pads like last month. And what we did was we actually ordered our materials from our major supplier base in China, Poro store. I think you can check them out. They have some cool stuff too. So what we did was we didn't order our materials by sea. We used airplane to like bring our materials in, which was very easy for us to like clear. And the company that is actually consulting for us kind of like have a lot of connections like with people at the airport and all. So like it was very, very easy to like clear our products and all. So I'm not going to lie that we didn't experience like some little bottlenecks here and there, because the major bottleneck we experienced was like delay in like clearing our products, our materials that we ordered for. Something that was supposed to be like cleared in a day, 2 days, it actually took like close to 6 days to like clear it, which was kind of like concerning. But I spoke with like my consultant and he said like, since it's the first time we are actually like bringing in like the raw materials, that he has spoken to his people and all, and they currently know that I'm partnering with him and he's consulting for me. So it's going to be easier next time. Yeah, I just thought I should. So if you have any follow-up question, you can let me know.
Thank you. And I will give quick time for Peter and Diane and Nareti. I'm so sorry.
Okay, thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. I think you need to do a little bit more research, especially in Nigeria. I have just put into the chat box one social enterprise that was my student, Pad Up Creations. Pad Up Creations. They do exactly what you are doing, and they, as at today, they've done about 3.7 million kits. So talk about reach. They've done that, and they are distributing in 18 countries. And so what you are doing, it's very good, it's fantastic. They even UV test their products, and they've expanded beyond sanitary pads. They've gone into diapers for adults and all kinds of stuff. The reason why I'm saying this to you is that please deep dive a bit more. It's not a new concept. This exists in Kenya. I have seen it there under the MasterCard Foundation, which I also was a mentor there. It's happening in Nigeria. These guys are all over the place. Distribution is key. And somebody was asking about distribution. This lady not only used the regular distribution channels, but the women themselves, she uses it as a mode of empowering them. And then so they are able to use, but in turn, they are able to distribute. Please think about it very well. It's a fantastic concept that you have, and it is needed in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter. I actually know Paddock Creations. The CEO is Olivia. And yes, they've actually been able to like establish like a very strong base in Nigeria and other African countries. And they have like a wide range of products now, and they are really, really doing very well. They are even introducing the vending machine too to like improve their distribution channels and all. Thank you so much for highlighting that. So we'll really think about our distribution channels. Thank you.
Thank you. Jan, do you have a quick question?
No, I'm just going to say, well done, girls. I think you're smart in starting only in 3 states in Nigeria, especially ones that aren't the typical ones for NGOs in Nigeria. And the rest has been said. Get a patent, find companies that are doing it, and see if you can partner with them, and try and source your materials locally, because I've done distribution and logistics in Africa for 30 years, and it is what kills a lot of businesses. But I think your idea and your presentation was phenomenal and definitely needed. So thank you for your passion.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne and Faith. And just to shout out that this is one of our teams that actually has a prototype, has their business out there. Really, really impressive. So congratulations to both of you. Judges, we have one more presentation. Again, I know if you need to leave right at the hour because we're running behind, totally understand, but we'll be behind about 10 minutes now. And just as a reminder, I will re-email all of you, all of our teams, email information in case you ever wanted to get in touch with the team members. So thank you. And in the chat is the next Zoom meeting. And Faith and Anne, I will see you online. I'll message you and then I'll see you tomorrow. But thank you both for everything.
Well done.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. Talk to you soon. Bye.